I
points
always
of
like to
this.
say something in relation to, my having looked at this stuff and what I kind of felt from it. And the thing that I really felt this week was, if people would only read their stuff to themselves or aloud, as if they're reading it to the most skeptical person, the most impatient person, then I think a lot of stuff that, and I do the same thing, right? I make the same error. A lot of the stuff that we say in copy, we just wouldn't say. We just wouldn't open it like that, because that skeptical person is starting to walk away now. Or if we make too big a claim, that skeptical person is rolling their eyes and going, "Oh my God," right? You sound like one of those people that, is always trying to sell me something. Or they're just bored to death. They're folding. It's like, they're like, "Oh, okay." So like, you don't need me and Stan for that, right? You can do that. You can read it out loud to you out loud. You can read it to someone else. Biggest thing in copywriting is not learning like, oh, how do I put words together and how do I arrange them, right? It's really just having that mindset of that I'm really talking to a person, and this person gets bored easily. This person is skeptical. And as John Carlton would say, this person has money in their pocket that belongs to me, right? Not in a greedy way, like I want their money, but in a way like, no, they've got $99 and I've got something that can change their life. That is like an amazing trade for both of us, right? Like we've got to do this trade. And, that's kind of the attitude you have to have, in a way, is a little more of a ruthless kind of attitude about it. Because otherwise you can't persuade with words. They're just words, and they don't really have the power to keep someone on the page and make someone reach into their wallet, unless you've got something behind them like that.
All right. I agree. It's fun. I have the same thing when I go through these, like what comes into my head. And there does seem to be themes, right? Like, I don't know why. It seems like suddenly it seems like, oh, these remind me of something.
Right.
And my thing this time was like, oh, I've done this, like something that could be better. And it kept popping into my head. Like sometimes, like I did this on a web page, and like I would think I know better now, but I know you still make the same mistakes when it's your own stuff. It's just so much easier to look at someone else's, which is, a key thing for me is you got to go cold on it. Like kind of what you're saying is you need to put it down and then read it to yourself. And then you kind of, I don't know, like I feel like this is boring, like, or this, I probably wouldn't be listening to someone saying this to me until, and there was a couple of things we'll talk about, right? But like at somewhere kind of that first page thing, like buried the lead, just that here I'm interested, but I probably wouldn't have gotten here if you weren't paying me to get here.
Yeah. And the thing of it is, it's such low hanging fruit in terms of improving your writing to make that mind shift, because we all have that ability to persuade. If I wanted Stan to come, to meet me in Portugal, right? I wouldn't be like, Stan, did you know that Portugal has a population of 19? And I wouldn't be like, Stan, Portugal's a killer place and you're going to have the time of your life. And I would just be like, Stan, I know you love, Portuguese food, and I know you love this and you love that, and Portugal is the place, and this has it. And here's some things you didn't know that are going to make you want to go even more. And I'll send a plane for you, or, whatever it takes.
Oh, there you go. Now you're talking.
I wouldn't be just like, okay, what's a killer opening that I could, and what template should I use to persuade Stan? And how can I rehash some copy I've read before? And it sounds, no, I just like talk to Stan. So we've all got that in us to persuade.
You would not tell me the history of Portugal. And I think it's the first temptation I think everybody has. The closer they are to the thing, it's one of the advantages freelancers
yes
have, I believe, is they have no love for the thing, the widget, whatever you're selling. So I think they have the opportunity to jump in like, okay, I'm sell the widget. I don't need to know all that stuff. But oh, here you go. That's interesting. This part of the story is interesting. So let's start there. That's it.
And you're the writer, you're going to get to the good stuff on the next page, but they don't know you're going to get to the good stuff on the next page. They think it's going to be all as boring as it's been so far. They don't know what's coming.
All right.